Hi everyone, welcome to Young and Wifed Up. I'm Gabby.
And this is Marcella.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode.
Before we get into our mini-sode topic today, I almost got really tongue-twisted with that.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. If you would like to support us financially, you can subscribe to our Patreon. We have tons of exclusive content for you guys. We have bonus episodes, we have merch, we have an opportunity to video chat with us, we have reco links, we have printables, we have lots of things going on over there. 3 different tiers you can choose depending on what perks you want, and it's a monthly subscription. We would love for you guys to join us over there, and it helps keep our lights on.
Literally.
With the podcast. So if that's something that you're interested in, that is a really great way to support us as opposed to the, typical sharing with your friends and family and things like that.
If you can't support us financially, you can also support us by sharing with your friends and family and rating and reviewing on whatever podcast platform you listen to. Helps us get on the charts and help us to get organic listeners that otherwise wouldn't find our episodes. So today we're going to be talking about laundry, my least favorite thing in the world. You guys like that song? I wrote it for you.
That's cute.
It's actually not my least favorite. It's like right above dishes for me because I hate dishes.
Wow.
But laundry is a close second. Interestingly enough, our mom taught us how to do laundry like when we were like 5 or even younger than that. And so I feel like I've been doing laundry my whole life. And it will not stop until the day I die, probably.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things we all got to do. And there's many different ways that we can be efficient about it so that it doesn't pile up on us, especially if we want to have a large family and we're like, oh no, each child that comes, we have more and more laundry to do. Or if you're on a sustainable journey like I've been and you're like, oh, now all of my paper goods have turned into cloths that I now have to keep washing. And how am I going to keep up with this? So we're going to tell you guys our schedule/routine today with laundry, some of our favorite hacks, and also talk about the products that we use, and all of the links you will be able to find on the Patreon for all of our tiers. So Marcella, why don't you get started with your schedule/routine?
Okay, so current schedule is always at minimum 1 load a day. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 if somebody in the family was sick or we used more linens than usual. I tend to use a lot of towels and washcloths and rags and stuff when I'm doing a lot of cooking and baking to kind of help protect countertops and, spills and messes. And especially when the boys are helping me, it gets a little out of control. So 1 load a day, every day. I don't usually start a load on Sundays, but if there is a load like in the dryer that was left in there for some reason, I will usually try to fold it and put it away. And usually that doesn't take me very much time. Or again, if there was an accident with kids, you just never know.
It's an emergency.
Like an emergency load of laundry on Sundays. But it's Monday through Saturdays, like a guaranteed 1 load a day. So
I have the same system that you have, except for mine is 1 load less. I do 1 load Monday through Friday, which is one of the biggest Fly Lady practical tips that she gives you. Like 1 load a day keeps the crazies away, or I can't remember what it was. Like she has this like cute little thing that she says. I realize that 1 load a day, Monday through Friday, may not be practical for people with larger families that need to do more than 1 load a day, but this is what works for us in our current family situation. And that includes all laundry, including towels, bedding, other linens, and stuff like that. So this is like my rough schedule that I have, and this helps me keep more organized instead of like, oh no, like I should do laundry today, but I don't know what to do. So kind of have a rough schedule for myself. So Monday I do bathroom towels and from all of the bathrooms. Tuesday, I do a load of clothes. Wednesday, I do a bedding or sheets or like our couch blankets, anything that's bedding or blanket related that's on our beds or, our linens that we wrap ourselves around. I'll do
Mhm.
that on Wednesdays. Thursdays, I'll do another load of towels, but this will be usually cleaning rags, napkins, stuff like that that I don't use paper towels for. I'll get all of the cleaning rags. One of the hacks that I have that I didn't put in my later part of the notes is that I have a downstairs small little trash can that I designate for all of my kitchen rags. So if you don't
Mhm.
find yourself so Marcella, your laundry room is in your kitchen, so it's kind of convenient for you to just throw your
Yeah.
stuff
I still have like
in
a
there.
little small, like almost a tabletop hamper
Yes.
type thing,
Okay.
like the
Yes.
little baskets, and I throw like our dirty kitchen towels and rags in there
Okay. So you do
until
the
I
same
can
thing
throw
I
those.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have something underneath my sink that I just throw my little rags in, and then I carry that. My laundry room is upstairs, and I carry it up to my laundry room when it's Thursday. And then
Mhm.
Friday I do another load of clothes, which usually takes us through the weekend. Again, there are some times, like Marcel was saying, if there's illness or if we have people staying with us, we have
Mhm.
more linens and more laundry. So then I'll do an extra load here or there. But this is like my bottom level, keep the laundry under control
Yeah.
and keep my mind in control so that I don't lose it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we're doing laundry, we kind of have about the same type
Very
of
similar.
products.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like you to talk first about what products you use.
Okay, so for laundry detergent, I've been using the same brand for a while. It's called BioClean, Biokleen. Um, and I think usually I just use like their clear, like free and clear, like unscented wash.
Mhm.
Um, and I've found that it's a good compromise because I go through detergent fairly quickly. Buying like the most expensive stuff is just not doable for our budget. This is kind of a nice middle ground that it's not like a it doesn't have all of the terrible things in it that you probably do not want to be washing your clothes with if you don't have to. Just like your basic normal day-to-day washing does not need to be like a stripped laundry situation with like all of the crazy things that you need to like get rid of all that stuff. Um, but then I also can't afford to buy the super expensive the most sustainable, clean laundry detergent. So BioClean has worked really well for us over the past, I think I started using it probably 3 years ago, I would say. And I've tried other brands and it just still does not like this one in particular lasts the longest and it works the best
Mm.
for our family at this point. So that's what I use for laundry detergent. And then I use white vinegar for as a fabric softener instead of using like an actual fabric softener. I think it works just as well, and it helps to also like deodorize your clothes. And usually, I just like throw that into the rinse portion of the cycle. I don't have in our machines. I don't have a rinse compartment where you can
Oh,
put
that
fabric
stinks.
softener. So I have to like keep an eye on where the cycle is. And then when I see it's on the rinse part, I just dump some white vinegar in there. I like open the
Hey,
lid
gotta
and
do what
dump
you gotta
some in.
do.
Yeah, which is fine. It was kind of inconvenient at first, but I've gotten used to it. And then I'll do baking soda. I'll add that to our linen loads or like heavily soiled loads, like sometimes like Jed's work clothes or like
Mhm.
kids' play clothes or, towels and sheets and things like that that need an extra boost. I'll add baking soda to my laundry. And you don't need a whole lot. And I get huge tubs of baking soda because I use it for both cleaning, laundry, baking, cooking, like everything.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I use hydrogen peroxide in special cases where I have to like disinfect laundry. Like if there's been kids puking or sick
Mm.
or whatever, and there's a lot of soiled clothing or linens and things like that. I'll do like a soak with some hydrogen peroxide. or it's also good for brightening whites. Obviously, be careful because hydrogen peroxide is a form of bleach. So if you know it's gonna, make your clothes bleed the color, if it's gonna have the bleach stain on it, like make sure you're not using it on those more sensitive fabrics. And also do not mix hydrogen peroxide or bleach with white vinegar. So don't use them in the same wash because you will create a toxic gas. So double check with some of this stuff that you're just not like making a concoction.
Like no potion
concoction.
making.
Yeah, please no potion making. Double check to make sure that what you're putting in your laundry all at the same time is safe for you to use, because some of it, can create some problems for you. And then as far as like drying goes, I'll do wool balls for drying, and I've been using those for many, many years now. I don't think we were ever a fabric sheet or a dryer sheet family. I know that like our mom had that when we were growing up, but like I don't know why, I just like never ended up buying them after I got married. And then I found the wool ball situation, and it seemed to work just as well.
Yeah.
And there are ways to kind of scent them yourself. And that's another thing you kind of have to be careful about with the essential oils. I know some people use that as a hack. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the laundry products that I use, with, some stain remover things here and there, but I don't need them quite that often, because I feel like if I can just get the clothes in soon enough after spills or things like that happen, then it usually kind of takes care of itself. So
yeah, that's great. Okay, so I use white vinegar as well as a fabric softener in every single load, no matter what. And then I also use wool balls instead of dryer sheets. I don't bother putting essential oils on them. I used to do like lavender, and when I'm doing laundry, I'm just like quick about it. Like I don't want to sit there pouring my oils on my wool balls before I start a dry load. Like that sounds miserable to me. I don't want to do that. But if you want to do that, look up what could work for you. I did used to do it, but yeah, it's just not my vibe anymore. I want a shortcut for my drying situation. Yeah. Okay, so the different things that I do two different things that are different. One is my laundry detergent. I've tried almost every zero waste, sustainable, non-tox, combo detergent on the market currently. And my favorite one has always been the True Earth laundry strips. They are so good. So good. I love them so much. They have fragrant ones, but they also have non-fragrant ones, and they are clean. They come in literal concentrated strips, and you can make them as small as you want because it's concentrated. It lasts a really long time. So it's a little more of an investment up front, but once you start like ripping them and you kind of notice like what works for your particular size load, then it lasts for a long time. But I recently started experimenting with Bluelands products. I've talked about them a few times on my Low Waste Homemaker Instagram account, and I've been using their cleaning products so that I can review them for the people on my Instagram and also for me to try and benefit from them. So I've been trying their detergent pods currently, and I'm not the biggest fan of like how powdery they are, and they kind of fall apart. It's kind of just like it looks like they put like the powders in a mold, and then it's kind of chalky. That's kind of how I would describe it. It's not in like a pod that dissolves. It's just like a chalky circle, and you can put multiple for bigger loads, or you could put one for a smaller load, and they just break really easily. So I don't know if I'll be purchasing them again. I might just go back to my True Earth, or I might try Marcella's more affordable option for liquid. I've done different kinds of liquids as well. I did what is the liquid I did when I moved? Because when I moved, I didn't want to like reorder a bunch of stuff. So I just like grabbed something at Vaughn's, and it ranked really good on different sites that I go to for non-toxic products. And it was at Vaughn's, and now I can't think of it. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. It wasn't 7th generation. It was like kind of a more like unknown cleaner brand, but it was in a plastic, detergent bottle, and that's usually like not my first pick, but for the situation I was in, I did it and I just recycled it. It's not a big deal. And also, like, I'm not opposed to liquid detergent. I just end up gravitating more to the more like eco-friendly types. And the True Earth ones have worked the best for me. I love them. They're tried and true, and a couple of my friends use them too. And then I also started using Meliora's products a couple years ago, and I love them. And so it stinks that I feel convicted to stop purchasing from them. I've been using their Oxy Booster. It's kind of like a bleach alternative, Oxy Boost alternative powder. And I use that for all of my bedding and all of my towels and stuff that need kind of an extra boost. And I also use their stain stick. It's like a solid stick that when you get it wet, you can help remove stains with it, and it works really well. These products work really awesome, but I cannot endorse their company because they started becoming extremely outspoken against pro-life customers, and they said in their Instagram that they do not want pro-life customers. So
Oh,
that kind
I
of
think
made
I
me.
I think I have their stain remover stick.
Yeah, it's so good. It works so well. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I
it's
don't.
lasted me a really long time, and
Me
I'm
too.
I'm sad that they have
Yeah,
to go
it's
and
like,
be like that.
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of like who we should boycott or not. But if a
Yeah,
company is telling me they don't want my business, like I'll be like, okay, I'm not going to give you my business then.
yeah,
So I've heard that Blue Land has an Oxy Boost option, and I know that there's other ones out there.
yeah. Maybe you can look into like making your own laundry booster
Yes, I
mix
know
situation.
there's a recipe in Little House Home, what is it called? Little House Living, the book that I
Yeah,
gave
yeah,
you and I
yeah,
have too.
yeah,
There's a recipe for it, so I need to just bite the bullet and make my own once mine runs out. I think I'm like a fourth of a way done with it. So
yeah.
soon I'll need to figure that situation out, but it stinks. Like this is a company that I really, really liked and they don't want my business. So that's fine with me. Okay, let's move into our hacks.
Okay, so with the laundry situation, especially when you have kids, it's a really great way to give your children some responsibility with chores, even if they are really young. Like there's no way my kids can help with this. They're gonna mess it all up or they're not gonna know what to do. And it's too much work to supervise and all this stuff. I think it is well worth the time and effort to teach them how to do their own laundry. So, both Seth and Eli have been helping. Uh, Seth has been for a while now, but Eli now more recently as he's gone older.
That's so
And
cute.
so things like starting off with just merely putting their dirty clothes in a laundry basket consistently instead of throwing them on the floor. And this might be, an aspect of habit training for your household. If you're like, oh, my kids are like 9 or 7 or whatever, and they're a little bit older and they don't do this, like that's a really good place to start, is merely just getting the dirty clothes into the laundry basket is a good place to start. And then usually what the boys will do, I'll tell them you need to bring your laundry to the kitchen, which is where we have like a laundry closet in our kitchen. And they will pull the laundry hamper from their own closet over to the kitchen. And they're able to do it safely. Our house is all one story. Obviously, if you have stairs and things like that, I'm not going to tell your kids to like drag that basket like
They
down
need
a
to
flight of
drive to the
stairs.
laundromat.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to drive to the laundromat
Put the
and
quarters
put
in.
their clothes in. Obviously, you have to tailor it to what your
Yeah.
situation is. This is the first house that we've been in that we have had, besides when we were living with my parents for a while. This is the first house that we've been in that has had, well, no, that's a lie. There was one right before that, but we only lived there for like 3 months. So I like sometimes
I
forget
don't
that we
count it.
even lived there. It just doesn't even count. Before that, it was always we had to go to a laundry facility type room on our complex or whatever. So there is still a way to involve them in, in getting the laundry to where it needs to go, but you have to figure out what's going to be safe and work best for your kids. And then loading the clothes into the washer. So what Seth and Eli have been doing is Seth will get the step stool. Usually Seth will start up at the top and Eli will kind of grab some of the clothes that he can reach. Obviously he's not as tall as Seth, and so he grabs some and then he gives it to Seth, who's on the step stool looking down. We have a top loading washer, and Seth will put them in and then they'll switch. So then Eli will go on the step stool and Seth will get the clothes that are kind of, you have to dig out in the bottom of the hamper. He'll dig those out and give those to Eli, and Eli will throw them into the washing machine. And then I take care of, kind of like the soap situation and getting it on the right setting and stuff. And then, they'll push the button and turn it on, and they like doing that. It's just fun for them. And then they also help with, I also wanted to say, when you have top loaders, obviously I'm kind of at a place now where I can kind of like walk away from them because they've been doing it for a little while, so they already know what to do. But if you have daredevils in your
Acrobats.
yeah. Yeah, I would say just supervise, because with the top loaders, obviously kids are very top heavy with their heads. And so they can easily fall in. So don't just step away if you feel like it's not a good idea, and be supervising, especially with really little ones. And then they help me with transferring clothes to the dryer. I'll give them their wet clothes and they'll throw it in the dryer themselves. They love throwing the wool balls into the dryer. They think that's super fun. And then usually I will do the folding and putting away, but Seth is in the process of learning how to fold. And I have found that rolling clothes is easier for kids than folding them. So that might be something to try. And I think I prefer the rolling clothes anyway, because I feel like you can get it done quicker.
I've recently dabbling in the rolling, and I like it. I think it makes more space and you can see all of your clothes so much better.
Yeah, we've been pretty much all of our clothes in the family, all of us roll our clothes, like all the stuff that goes in the dressers and stuff. And I've been doing that for many years now. So anyway, there was that. And then one other thing that I forgot to put in the notes if you have a larger family, unless you are able to dedicate the time and energy to consistently doing multiple loads of laundry a day, I've found that it kind of is counterproductive for me, as opposed to only doing one load, as opposed to committing to doing 2 or 3 loads every single day. There's always overlap with things that do not get folded and do not get put away. And then you are never actually done with the load, because it's just
like half done.
Yeah, it's like your laundry the loads are always half done because you're doing so many of them at one time in one day.
Yeah.
So if you're in that situation of, oh, well, I'm doing multiple loads of laundry a day and it should be more efficient, but for some reason I'm finding more clothes all over the place and it's not getting put away, maybe try scaling back to doing like one full large load a day. Even if it's like, don't separate your colors and stuff. Like,
I never do. I never.
Fill the washer as high as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Do as much as you can, and then just try to get it folded and all put away by the end of the day. Might be something to experiment with. So, I think that was about it with my laundry hacks and stuff. What about you?
Okay, so I just have a couple. The first one is that installing a foldable hanging rack in your laundry room or your bathroom can be such a lifesaver. One, it can conserve space. So if you end up like hanging clothes pretty frequently, but then like you want a hanging rack, but then it's like this giant thing in your laundry room or in your house or somewhere in your house where it's just not practical, So having something that you can push into the wall that's space saving. I got one. We were living in a tinier apartment and it helped me so much. And nobody ever knew it was there, even though I was like, oh, it's
Mhm.
such an eyesore. But when it's folded back, it was in the guest bathroom. Nobody ever noticed.
Mhm.
It's also less cumbersome to hang over a drying rack than individually hanging clothes. Like,
Oh man, yeah.
oh, I hate individually hanging clothes that are wet. It is a nightmare. So installing a hanging rack, they have affordable options on Amazon. I will link the one that I have on Patreon. It is so much better. It is so much better than hanging every single tiny little thing. Oh, it's so much better. And like if you get one that can pull out like an accordion style, you can get one that like expands so that you can put multiple things on one portion. So I
Mhm.
love my hanging rack and I love that I can just push it back. I had it again in my bathroom when we were living in an apartment, and then I now have it in the laundry room in our home. Secondly, if you live in an apartment or if you live in like a situation where you don't have in-house laundry facilities, and you're looking for a good portable washing machine, I have one that I'm going to link that I used for quite a while and I loved it. The only downside of having a portable washing machine is you either have to buy a dryer as well, or you need to be willing to hang everything that you wash. So
Mm.
I decided to do the latter. I hung everything that we washed, including towels, including linens, everything. Towels, sometimes I would bite the bullet and go downstairs and put it in our laundry facilities if like they needed to be fluffed. But the majority of my clothes I hung on my hanging rack when I did my one load a day. The other downside of a portable washer is that they are usually half the size of a regular load. So if you want to save some money and you want to invest short term for a couple $100 like portable washing machine, it does pay for itself, especially if you go to laundromats where it's so expensive to wash and dry your clothes. So
Mhm.
you mine paid for itself like within like 5 or 6 months, and I was so thankful. And so there's a way that you can hook it up to your bathroom sink or your kitchen sink, so you don't have to have like a specific room for it. And I put mine on like a part roller. So I rolled it into the bathroom when I needed to use it, and then when I was done using it, I rolled it into our bedroom. And it's small and it's like sleek. It was like white, black and white, and it didn't
Mhm.
look, ugly or anything. But that was a great investment for us, especially like when I was in a season of having flare-ups in my health like multiple times. Like I was having it once a month when we finally were like, we need to get it, because for me it was very difficult for me to go up and down the stairs multiple times a day to do the laundry. And I was having to rely primarily on Ryan to help me with it, but even then, it was still really hard for me.
Yeah.
So it gave me a lot of independence to be able to do my own laundry when we were
Mhm.
living in that situation. So it really gave me some of my freedom back. And if you live in a staircase situation or you have a laundry facility that far from you and it's not safe for you to leave your small children at home alone, having a portable washing machine can help you again gain your independence back, gain your freedom back with this
Yeah.
laundry, so that you're not worried about leaving your children or having to cart, your children with you to the laundry room every hour that you're having to switch and do loads. And we know that laundry mishaps happen, and then we're like, oh no, and then and it's like in a completely other area. So I
Yeah.
highly recommend a portable washer. They have affordable ones. The one that I got was like a mid-level affordable one. And I actually sold mine on Facebook Marketplace before we moved. And I saw that a lot of people were selling portable washers on Facebook Marketplace. So that is a great place to look before you go to Amazon or, other places to buy one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's everything we have today. Anything else, Marcella?
No, ma'am.
Awesome. So please let us know in the comments on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon what you guys are doing for your laundry, what your routine and schedule is. Give us some inspo, what products you're loving, what hacks you have, because I'm always trying to level up my homemaking game. So let's share the hacks, women. Let's do it. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys next week. Next week, we're talking about date nights at home. I can't wait for that one. That's going to be a really fun episode. So look forward to that one. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.